This is the day I've been looking forward for over 2.5 years. Every once in a while, a revolutionary product comes along that changes everything, and Apple has been, well, first of all, one's very fortunate if you get to work on one of these in your career. Apple has been very fortunate. It's been able to introduce a few of these into the world. 1984, we introduced the Macintosh. It didn't just change Apple, it changed the computer industry. In 2001, we introduced the first iPod. And it didn't just change the way we all listen to music, it changed the entire music industry. Well, today, we are introducing 3 revolutionary products of this class. The first one, a widescreen iPod with touch controls. The second, a revolutionary mobile phone. And the third is a breakthrough internet communications device. So, 3 things: a widescreen iPod with touch controls, a revolutionary mobile phone, and a breakthrough internet communications device. An iPod, an iPhone, and an internet communications device. An iPod, an iPhone. Are you getting it? These are not 3 separate devices. This is one device, and we're calling it iPhone. Today, Apple is going to reinvent the phone, and here it is. No, actually, here it is. But we're just going to leave it here for now. So, before we get into it, let me talk about a category of things. The most advanced phones are called smartphones, so they say. And they typically combine a phone plus an email compatibility, plus they say it's the internet. It's sort of a baby internet into one device. And they all have these little plastic keyboards on them. And the problem is they're not so smart, and they're not so easy to use. And so if you kind of make a business one-on-one graph of a smart Axis and the easy to use Axis phones, regular cell phones are right there. They're not so smart, and they're not so easy to use. But smartphones are definitely a little smarter, but they actually are harder to use. They are really complicated. Just for the basic stuff, people have a hard time of figuring out how to use them. Well, we don't want to do either of those things. What we want to do is make a leapfrog product that is way smarter than any mobile device that has ever been. Super easy to use. This is what iPhone is. So, we are going to reinvent the phone. Now, we are going to start with a revolutionary user interface. It is the result of years of research and development, and of course, it is the interplay of hardware and software. Now, why do we need a revolutionary user interface? Here's 4 smartphones, right? Motorola Q, the BlackBerry, Palm Trio, Nokia E64, the usual suspects. And what's wrong with their user interface? Well, the problem with them is really sort of the bottom 40 there. It's this stuff right there. They all have these keyboards that are there whether or not you need them to be there. And they all have these control buttons that are fixed in plastic and are the same for every application. Well, every application wants a slightly different user interface, a slightly optimized set of buttons, just for it. And what happens if you think of a great idea 6 months from now? You can't run around and add a button to these things. They're already shipped. So what do? It doesn't work because of the buttons, and the controls can't change. They can't change for each application, and they can't change down the road if you think of another great idea you want to add to this product. Well, how do you solve this? It turns out we solved it. We solved it in computers 20 years ago. We solved it with a bitmapped screen that can display anything we want, put any interface up, and a pointing device. We solved it with the mouse. We solved this problem. So how are we going to take this into a mobile device? What? What are we going to do to get rid of all these buttons and just make a giant screen? A giant screen. Now, how are we going to communicate this? We don't want to carry a mouse around, right? So what are we going to do? Oh, a stylus, right? We're going to use a stylus. No, who wants a stylus? You have to get them and put them away. You lose them. Yuck. Nobody wants a stylus, so let's not use a stylus.